Hi there, Martin from Lux Resin back again. Today we're going to start work on our electric guitar project, which is really exciting. I can't wait to get going. And the first place we're going to start is with our neck. At the top of the neck is a piece of wood that's called the headstock, this bit here. And as you can see, this is a blank, it's not shaped particularly nicely. So today we're going to trace out the pattern that we want to eventually carve into our maple headstock, which will carry the design that we want to go at the end of our neck. So let's put the neck down, get the glasses on, and let's get busy. So I've been thinking, what sort of headstock do I want to put onto my neck here? And I think the truth is there can only be one. This is called 6 in a line because the tuning holes are 6 equally spaced holes all on the one side of the head. And there is only one classic design for that type of guitar head in my experience, and it is this. This is a Fender Stratocaster. Again, you can see that this is a 6 in a line arrangement, and we're going to be able to take a template from this head and then paste it onto our own head here. Ideally, I would just clamp one guitar onto the other guitar, and that would allow me to trace a perfect line. The problem we have here is you can see that this headstock is parallel, so that runs parallel to the neck. The headstock I have, you can see the neck is here, and then the headstock comes back at an angle. That makes clamping very difficult, and if I did so, the difference in angles between the two headstocks would cause a distortion to the shape. So the most practical way of doing that is to take an old piece of card. We're going to place it underneath the headstock, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw around this headstock here, trace around very carefully, making sure we get all the curves in, making sure I stop only at the neck there, signify that that's the neck. Neck, and then that's given me the outline shape that I need. I know from this point to this point is a straight line, so I can add my straight line, and now I have a template that I can cut. Right, I've been snipping very carefully, and I think I've got a template that's a wonderful fit. So I'm just examining over the top, and I think the curves on that and the shape is absolutely perfect. So with that, we can put my trusty Strat away, and we can move on to the next stage. Okay, so we've got a template which we've cut out meticulously, and I'm now just going to affix this to the head so that I can draw my required lines onto the blank neck that we have here, and I'm going to hold it on using some clamps. I don't particularly want to use any sticky tape because that will leave a nasty residue that will need to be scrubbed off of the woodwork when we finish. So just pop some clamps on. We can clamp it on the straight side where we know the edges are matching and are parallel, and then that only leaves me a small area that I need to out. Okay, so there's our template in place. I think that looks just about right. So now we need to draw our cut line. No, not quite right actually. Needs to be there. Better. That one needs to just be perfect. Right, that's good. So now to put on our cut line. There we go. We know that this is the area that we're going to be removing, so we'll mark that accordingly. release the clamps, remove the template, and here we have our Stratocaster style neck ready for cutting. Okay, so we're outdoors and we're ready to start removing some material to shape the headstock. Temperatures are just below zero, so thus the extraordinary PPE. Firstly, we need to clamp this neck up ready for removal. Ordinarily I'd have used a router bit, but today I'm going to use a jigsaw because there's some very fine cuts and I don't want to remove too much material in one go. So the tool of choice to remove the material today is the jigsaw. So we've clamped down our neck, carefully avoiding damaging any of the frets on the fingerboard by placing the clamp points in between the frets, and I think we're just about ready to go. Let's get sawing. Right, it's a pretty rough cut, but it's looking pretty good. Just a little bit of sanding to go now. Ah, that's better, inside in the warm. So it's time to start sanding the headstock cut that we've just made. And the idea is now not to remove material because we've got the outline of our shape, as you can see, and that's a pretty decent cut. Clearly we need to smooth these edges here. There's some rough saw marks here. We need to get rid of all of those. We need the finish to be perfect, but we don't want to remove too much material now. So rather than use a direct drive sander, today I'm using my random orbital sander, which is a bit more gentle, although I am starting with a 60 sandpaper to get rid of the worst of the saw marks. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So we've just hit our first snag of the project. It appears like the hook and loop backing pad on my sander has seen better days because the pads have started to fly off. So that's to order a replacement backing pad, which is no problems, but just means I'll be running the sander on a lower speed, so it's going to take a little bit longer. But anyway, let's see if we can get these marks out and see if we can get anywhere near a smooth finish. I'm going to take it through the grades from 60 down to about 320. I have to say that maple is really quite a terrific wood in terms of sanding. It really behaves very well. But I think now I'm going to put the electric sander away and take the rest on by hand. Shape is really coming into effect now. We can start going down to the smoother grades. Just take the bite off the edges here slightly. I think you can see that that really is taking on the appropriate shape now. Okay, let's change grids. So we're done. Outside it's going dark. Inside here you can see the lights are coming on, the tools have gone away, and the workshop shut up for the day. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, so please remember to like and subscribe, and if you hit the bell button you'll be notified when the next episode drops. You probably won't want to miss that, because next time I'm going to be doing some serious damage to a guitar body on purpose. Until the next episode, see ya.